Peace and blessings, family. Sister Ajali, my condolences to the killed by a tornado that ripped through Mississippi. I pray that, I pray for the healing for those grieving for their lost ones. And miraculously, I wish I could turn back time and somehow save everybody. I don't think that when it is these environmental disasters or just weather disasters, there's not much you can do. And I've said it before that they've turned our Earth into Mars. It is devastatingly true. The only plausible, scientifically plausible explanation for everything that we're seeing and will continue to see. It's not going to calm down. It's going to get precipitously worse. And because the only thing that cuts across every single category of a plausible science-based explanation is Fukushima. The earthquake in Turkey that killed tens of thousands of people. The floods, I still remember the one in Germany that just wiped out a whole town. These tornadoes that I forget which state it was, but one where it had experienced dozens and dozens of tornadoes just descending all at once. The tsunamis, the sickness and disease that it's already been proven through Chernobyl, which was, in my firm conclusion, a petri dish experiment, because they actually stopped Russian doctors who were healing people from healing people anymore. They even put them in jail because they didn't want anybody to know that there are remedies for radiation. And that's why they never, ever mention Fukushima. And on top of that, they have the nerve to say ridiculous things like, oh, the scientists were baffled, we're befuddled. And now suddenly they're blaming bird flu for the mysterious, it's still a mystery, okay, of the whales dying in mass on the East Coast. I had been reporting about the spread of radiation to the Atlantic Ocean years back. But it's increased exponentially. So now they're just putting all the beaches together with no examination of the timeline. The fact that the die-off happened on the West Coast first, right where Fukushima was. And they're going to put all the beaches together because they count on you to ignore a sister like me, not to buy the amazing products on 25000yearcycle.org to support my ability to test our food, because daggone right, I'm going to test our food, because your food is my food and it has radiation in it. Biden's just allowed everything grown in Fukushima into our food. Come on, you got to hear me. I'm not a fearmonger, I'm a solution provider. But if we don't take advantage of the solution, trust these folks ain't gonna do it, because I don't know how bird flu is wiping out whole populations of whales and dolphins, more so than the trajectory of the die-off would pinpoint. The cause is the radiation. Because something like this ain't never happened in the history of anything. The only factor that explains all of this, and I pointed it out, even with our die-offs, and I just read that Andrew Lloyd Webber's son just died, 43. He'd been fighting gastric cancer for the last year. And it turns out, I didn't mention it, but Lance Reddick, yes, he lived on the West Coast, right? The only factor that cuts across every single one of these categories is man-made radiation. And all I am reading only confirms, oh, Allahu Akbar, Allah is a mercy. I don't know, I'm just me. But he's got to have a hand in this. He has to have put this so deep in my soul that I have never stopped. I have just increased, and I risk the utter just shadow banning of my channel altogether, because I'm not interested in celebrities right now. I don't give a damn about these delusional swirlers and the bed bugs. I couldn't care less. I care about you. I care about you. There's so much that I'm just like, look, I got to tell the truth. I got to put the data out there, because we are being beguiled into oblivion by trivia, by stupidity, when we're not stupid. We're not stupid. And there's no reason to fear. There's no reason to fear. Fear Allah only, not anything that might happen, because was it 28 people lost their lives? 23 people lost their lives. I don't know if that number is going to be increased. And my condolences to all of them, and my condolences to their family, and may they rest in peace. I don't gloat, primarily because, damn it, this could happen to anybody. Anybody could happen to me. If tornadoes suddenly, because it's turning into Mars, maybe they would rip right on through my area. I'm just saying that the radiation, the melting, the tritium, which melts at a lower temperature than regular water, is making the weather systems more volatile. That's inevitably going to happen. And again, I'm children. Of any race or nationality, I feel for children. I can't imagine the terror that these children underwent. They're not our children. But at the same time, I surely don't wish anybody any harm. But the weather is going to become far more volatile. And that is going to increase the rate, increase the frequency of these sorts of activities. The only way we can solve this, have a chance of solving this, is if we acknowledge what the hell is going on with our planet. If we keep just acting as if it's, geez, I wonder what the latest YouTube ridiculous agent provocateur is saying, or whatever the latest celebrity is doing. That's not going to stop this. That doesn't have a chance of stopping this. And when it comes to the earthquakes, I theorize that is the cores of Fukushima, in the core of our earth, just causing all types of echoes and reverberations that led to the devastation that happened in Turkey. Is there a way to stop that? We won't know unless we get the warning out, unless we listen. You don't have to, the white anti-nukers are out there, but I don't think they're covering this to the extent that I am. Not at all. Right? And if we get the word out, using the data that I've procured, I know they took down my 25,000K subscribers channel, but that ain't of any impact whatsoever. Word to word, mouth to mouth. Once we start sharing, I am not Osama bin Laden, and by any shake of I'm not, whatever. But he managed. Oh no, the Ayatollah Khomeini. He managed to get his word out with tape recorders. Tapes that would hand it out 1-to-1 in the desert. I'm like, wow. And I noticed that maybe there are some who are doing that because all of a sudden, and I don't want to say all of a sudden, but I noticed the reverberations of probably just even one person letting others know, you got to check this sister out. That's another reason why I'm also like, you know what? Even if my views go down precipitously, I'm not really talking about the swirlers so much anymore. I'm talking about what directly impacts you and me so that we will recognize, we gotta do better. So this, I mean, wow. Just looking at these, that's, I guess, the impact zones of the tornado. That is vast. That was just one tornado. My God. It must have been miles and miles wide. Incredible. Right? This is not going away. It's not going to calm down. These things will get worse. Nobody can live on Mars. Nobody. We still have this, the only planet we have. And if these devils believe that they have found the method to destroy it, we have to destroy their delusions. I'm not talking for advocating violence because that will play into their hands. They are never going to fess up. They're never going to go to not Alcoholics Anonymous, but Genociders Anonymous meeting and confess, oh, we done bad. I don't know what was wrong with me. Right? They enjoy being psychopaths. They think that it's great. And most of them are just terrified. They're terrified of the repercussions of whistleblowing and admitting, all right, yes, I'm a scientist and I knew damn well what was going on. And I didn't say a word. Hey? So I just, my condolences to the families. And don't believe the lie about the fish suddenly getting bird flu when most fish don't have lungs. Whales and dolphins do. But I ain't never heard of like that some dolphins and some whales gonna catch a cold, okay? Share the warning. Go to 25000yearcycle.org. Support your soldiers because we got no other choice and ain't nobody else on this planet sharing what we share. Peace and blessings, straight black family pride.